All right, Rise and SKOL. Happy Friday, everybody. Lupagus, your coffee cup is much better than mine. Happy Friday, everybody. Rise and SKOL brought to you by Brew Pub
Ooh,
Pizza, our favorite pizza, the best damn pizza around, made right here in the great state of Minnesota. I got bacon cheeseburger.
nice.
I feel bad saying this. I've always loved all of them. I think this might be my favorite.
Really?
I think it might be my favorite.
You can have it for breakfast, you can have it for lunch, you can have it for dinner, you can have it for a snack. Any time of the day is a great time for brew pub. Lots of matzah. And here we are. We're less than 2 weeks from the NFL draft. Less than 2 weeks away.
I'm nervous. I'm starting to have draft dreams. It's starting to get struggle to get to sleep. I'll be okay. Don't worry, everybody.
I'm usually buzzed, so I sleep just fine.
Yeah, we'll sleep just fine. We're going over news. We got trivia. We got some mock drafts. We got all sorts of stuff to talk about this morning. So stick around. Hit that like button. Hit that sub. But let's get into a little bit of news. We were horned up last night, so we went over quite a bit. But there was a few things I want to touch on. Jack Jones, who was recently released by the Raiders, started 16 games for the Raiders last year. Released the same day that we released Nation Wright. A lot of Vikings fans want Jack Jones, and Jack Jones they put a claim in on him last time. Do you think Jack Jones is coming home?
He might be. He definitely isn't coming before the draft, so I think he may be one of those guys they sign afterwards, see how the draft plays out, see what kind of corners they can add. Then would not have to worry about any kind of comp formula situation. I also believe, didn't they bring him in when he was a rookie? I feel like they did a lot of research on him when he was in the draft process too. So I think a guy this Viking staff is very familiar with. They like him a lot. I'd be fine with Jack Jones. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, Jack Jones, 7 interceptions last 3 years. He's got a sniffer for the ball. One guy we definitely are not getting as of this morning, Joe Flacco, re-signed with the Browns. What the hell? I thought he was our guy.
Didn't see that coming. Yeah, I thought he was our guy too. I thought maybe there was a little handshake deal, under the table deal going on there. You're done under the table deal, Onebar?
Yeah, they have not panned out well. I felt bad about myself afterwards. Yeah, it was a rough deal. So yeah, he's gone. We're gonna do a video on some of the options that are left, but
not much left.
Not much left. Matt Miller, ESPN, again, kind of piling on, saying that he is hearing the Vikings are very open to trading back. The Vikings making that very clear, which probably means their compensation is getting worse and worse.
I think when teams put that out there, I don't think you get very much in return, and it sounds desperate. It sounds a little desperate.
Been there as well. Benjamin Morrison, a draft prospect the Vikings probably have their eyes on, is actually going to be doing a workout on April 21st. So he's going to maybe boost his draft stock a little bit, because I don't think he did any workouts or anything. So he wants to show the people that he's ready.
He's ready, that he's healthy. It's huge for him if he does move well. I mean, a lot of concern about that hip. He's also got a shoulder going on. I mean, he's been kind of injury prone. But the fact that he's moving well, you got to see how he turns and runs and everything. And yeah, I mean, it could definitely help him. It ain't gonna hurt unless he can't move.
He was on, if he goes out there and can't move, that would he probably should fire his agent. That wouldn't be a good idea. I saw him on, I don't know what show it was. Very confident young man. Very confident. I like him.
Good. I like him too.
All right, let's go. Let's hop into a little trivia real quick. I think this one might be super easy, but I'd give it to you anyways. Christian Ponder drafted 12th overall. Which quarterbacks were taken ahead of him? Is it just easy peasy? I mean, don't say it.
Well, I got one.
All right. I'll take that.
Stick around to the end. I'm getting mixed up with the Jake Walker year. Was that the same year? No.
There's definitely a handful of years that mix in of gross quarterbacks. So stick around till the end. Let's get into the top comments real quick. Scream Stack says Stackhouse. Bunch of prayer emojis. Been saying they should target him for months. Nazir Stackhouse, the big boy from Georgia. And a big reason I put this on there. So we did a video about him visiting top 30. There's a lot of people that love Stackhouse in the comments. They want him bad.
And, you go back to saying his name. His name's really cool. Nazir Stackhouse could be the thing that attracts people. But big body, run stuff or something we could use. So it makes sense on multiple levels. I like him too. I think, like I said, I have him going in my first round, my first mock draft last May.
Well, there was also a comment, I believe it was from Rob, who said last year at this time, he was like a top 40 prospect. So times have changed. Speaking of Rob, he also threw a comment out there that I thought was very, very interesting. He said, so far, Vikings have met with Donovan Jackson and Harmon twice, but they have not met with Zabel or Emanwari.
Yeah, I mean,
just saying, man.
I didn't see the Donovan Jackson meet. I know there's been a lot of buzz that they love Gray Zabel. Joe DeLeon was on last night, and he said he's a third rounder.
Yeah, that was rude. But honestly, like that is kind of the consensus. We love Gray Zabel probably more than we should because a lot of people that have, I mean, Jackson's ahead of Zabel like almost everybody.
There's prospects who are loved more by the NFL, and there's prospects who are loved more by the draft world. And maybe Gray Zabel is one of the ones who is loved more by the draft world.
Well, and every year it never fails. A guard just falls. Like it goes all of a sudden in round 3.
And like he had, let's not forget his meteoric rise he had after the Senior Bowl. Like that's when all of a sudden he shot up to the first round. Everybody's talking about him as a first round prospect. Before that, he was a second, third round guy coming out of NDSU. So
we see that every Cole Strange, Quinn Miners. It's like these guys all of a sudden go to the Senior Bowl and all of a sudden like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
And Cole Strange is not panned out. Friend of the show.
Well, no one saw Cole Strange go in the first round.
I did. Told everybody. Told all my friends. Told my mailman.
Wow.
Stone Wolf. This is kind of a random one, but I put it on there anyway. He said Dallas Turner needs to be twice the player he was last year. He was a real disappointment. Does he need to be twice the player?
No, he doesn't need to be. I was a little bit concerned with lack of production. We started looking into it, like how raw he is, how young he is.
Oh.
They really treated him with kid gloves last year, and getting him his feet wet, doing different things. Like they're dropping the coverage, doing weird things. You got Grenard, you got Van Ginkel. There was no need to really put him into a bigger role. I expect that to definitely increase this year as he is familiar with the defense, and I think the Vikings are going to use him more in different ways. So I do expect more production. I'm not disappointed at all.
I will just say that if he doesn't come on the scene this year, I will be disappointed. Like there's no gradual stuff anymore. You traded up for him, year 2. He's going to see the field. He better be making some plays.
And what makes it worse is when you see Jared Verse just go off last year as a rookie.
Yeah, but that's apples to ding dongs. I mean, he was ready. He's like 25. I'm just saying,
make it feel any better. Sean Robinson did well.
Turner better make some plays this year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them.
But I mean, he also has to see the field more. I mean, he was seeing 20 snaps a game.
Yeah, he better. So that'll be definitely an interesting topic. Thrilla from Manila says, this video went off the rails real quick, and I love you for it. Would also love another UCLA kid. This was Carson Swessinger.
Yeah, your love for him is berserker is what it is.
There was a couple of comments that did get a little weird. Some of them not being very nice to me. But I don't care.
Off the rails.
Carson Swessinger is awesome, and he's going to be a great NFL linebacker.
I love when Joe was also like on last night, and he's like, yeah, he was a good-looking guy.
I think Joe is maybe starting to get a little uncomfortable with us, but he's fine. Last one from Daniel. He just says, Brew Pub is damn good pizza, period.
He's right.
The end. That's all he said.
We get nothing but positive comments about Brew Pub. Just one of the best sponsors we ever had in the show.
One of the best pizzas I've ever had. Maybe the best.
So
Probably the best. So those are the comments. All right, let's go to some guys. At this point, sometimes we start to sour on some players. We have a little bit of love fest early on. That's like, I don't know. Or maybe it's just guys we've never liked.
Mm-hmm.
So Lupagus gave us three. We're going to start with you. Players that you have soured on.
Yeah, and Morrison, to me, it's just I can't take him before pick 97. If he makes it 97, I feel good. It's not just the hip, it's the shoulder. He seems to be injury prone, but I love him as a prospect. Fiery corner, sticky in coverage. He's a freaking human seatbelt.
Gross.
So I do like him. I just can't take him any earlier than that round 3 pick. There's so much risk there. But again, if he does make 97, I'm doing naked jumping jacks. I'm so damn excited.
Thank you.
Nick Manwari, again, you read everything about him, the size, the speed, the physicality, the ball skill. Like, he's just a total prospect. Going back and watching his highlights just for the shit of it, like, he doesn't lay dudes out. He's kind of a gentle tackler. I'm like, what the hell? I was expecting a guy this big to lay thunderous Greg Blue type of hits on humans, and it's not there. That concerns me. I don't love the idea of going safety around Worms, so I'm cooling on him a little bit just because I don't like the position there at 24. And for a guy that size, he should be just destroying players, ball carriers. He's not doing that. Walter Nolan, this was a guy who was super high on early in the draft season. Then Ryan Roberts, I saw a video. He was talking about like lack of motivation. There's some character issues as well. So last thing I want now is you got a lot of D-line in this class. He was a 24th pick on a guy who has some red flags like that. Yeah, not interested. I do love his potential. 24 now is rich for me for Walter Nolan.
Yeah, Morrison, I'm actually kind of on the opposite. Like I've really started to I like him again. And Emanwari, I'm just very impartial on if we get him or not. I would be fine. And my 3, I got Walter Nolan on there as well, but I got Revel. I mean,
look sad. Look how sad he is to be.
Well, everybody look at everybody's very sad. I put him on.
Not Morrison. He's happy as hell.
Revel's such a man, such limited amount. What we've seen is good. He's such a boomer bust type of guy. He scares the hell out of me as far as possibly taking him with our first pick. Even if we traded back, I wouldn't hate it, but I liked him a lot more. It's just I think it's because I like the other corners a lot more. Tate Ratledge, a guy that I was pretty big on, but everybody compares him to Dalton Reisner. Everybody. I don't want Dalton Reisner. Like that, everybody's just saying, oh, he's good in pass. He's not very good in run. He can be mean. I love that he's got a mullet and a mustache, but I've really cooled on Tate Ratledge, and it has a lot to do with the Reisner. And then Walter Nolan's pretty much everything you said. So Nolan's just a lot of question marks there. Again, kind of like Revel, he's either going to be fantastic or he's going to just absolutely make a GM look really bad.
Yeah, and in a class where there's so many D tackles, I don't think you need to take that risk.
All right, let's go to a quick mock off. Lupagus is going to pick which mock he would prefer, and I did 2. And this is how they shook out. What do you think about this?
It's weird.
It is weird. Campbell was there. I took him. West at 97 was the best defensive lineman there.
I love.
And then again, Frazier and Tommy Hill. I threw him in there because he's a bigger corner. So I figured I'd try to tickle you there a little bit.
I can't believe you took Miles Frazier. You hate him.
Well, yeah, I don't hate him. I wouldn't. I would love him at 139.
It's an unexpected group there. I mean, I can't say I hate it. There's some players I like, and Campbell's day 1 starter. So,
So the next one I did do a few. I traded back twice in the first round, so definitely some more picks. So here's what we end up with. Again, I know you love Charles Grant, but some different names.
I do love Charles Grant. Harmon, I really think he might be the pick. I'm going to go with the second one here. The Harmon, the Grant, the Parrish, the Carter, and the McLaughlin. McLaughlin, I mean, I want to have a young center to groom behind Ryan Kelly. He could be that guy. Carter's linebacker. I think he was one of your draft crushes.
Love him.
Weeks ago. You love him more than anything. Parrish, I'm not overly familiar with, but I do believe he's over 6 foot, around there.
Parrish is fast. I don't think he's over 6 foot.
And I love Charles Grant. Again, small school tackle. Put him inside. Potentially could compete to start at left guard as a rookie. And Derek Harmon, so versatile. Pressure machine. Put him on this line with the boys we have, the edge guys. It's pretty nice.
Parrish is 5'10".
Ugh.
Yep, hate it. So you're going number 2.
I am. I did a couple times already, too.
Well, you should probably get that checked out. So that is the mock-off. Let us know which one you pick. Let's go. Let's finish this thing off. We're going to do some round 5 targets. That the Vikings have a couple picks there. Do the trivia answer. But let's get into round 5 targets real quick. And I know we got at least one of the same names. But
yeah, and I almost had Slater too.
Yeah, Slater. I like him. Peebles. Vikings have shown interest. They met with him at his pro day. I don't think he was a top 30, but they've definitely shown interest in Mr. Peebles. And the dude's just violent as hell. And he's got good technique. What else do you want from a defensive lineman? Good technique and not nice. Draft Network put out a great quote. It said that he's violent, tenacious, and technically savvy. Yeah. Peebles will be your favorite team's favorite interior defensive lineman.
Wow, nice.
11.5 sacks over his career. So Peebles is a guy to keep an eye on. Ransom, strong safety, tough as hell, hard hitter, good instincts. He could be a nice little mix with Theo Jackson in the coming years. The Vikings were able to nab him. Worst case, high-level special teamer, two block punts last year, something like that. But Ransom is a favorite as well in the comments. And then Jackson Slater, big, powerful, fluid, stud in the run game.
Wow.
What I love about him is he's not only powerful, he's athletic and potentially could be a center as well in the NFL. So give you some options. So Jackson Slater, I think we both kind of have a little crush on him in the mid rounds.
Yeah, he's tested off the freaking charts. Peebles, I love. He just reminds me of Jalen Redmond. He's out there. He's just all energy, swatting down balls, running everywhere. He has no neck. It's hilarious watching him play.
Let's go to yours. And again, you got Peebles, and then you got Condren. Mr. Dotson.
Yeah, Condra, again, a guard we've talked about on the show before. Power athleticism, I think he could compete for a spot. Worst case, he's giving you some good depth. Fifth round, probably where he comes out, somewhere fifth, sixth, somewhere in there. Mel Dotson, 5 interceptions last year. I like his teammate Kobe Bryant better, but if you don't get Bryant, Dotson's a nice little consolation prize. I love the ball skills. He's like 6 foot, so big enough for me. He can play outside. So yeah, those are some of my guys right there.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the mid rounds, we're pretty on the same page as far as the guys we want. Luke Condra, look at that tie. Perfect.
Yeah.
That is
Hell of a tie job.
Very nice tie job. I did a how-to speech. You had to demonstrate something in speech class, and it had to be 3 minutes long, and I did a tie, and it was 40 seconds.
Oh my God.
Bad grade.
Were you embarrassed?
D. I got a D. Yeah, very embarrassed. He's like, "Is that it?" Yeah, it is. An idiot. Try your best. All right, let's go. Trivia. Christian Ponder, 12th overall. Which quarterbacks were taken ahead of him, Lupagus?
Well, this is where I'm struggling. I can't remember if he was the same year as Jake Locker or not. I'm going to say he was. So I'm going to say it was Ponder. It was Cam Newton, Blaine Gabbert, Jake Locker, and then Christian Ponder. I'm going to say 3 quarterbacks. Look at that. Look at that.
Did it. You did it. I got to start making these a little bit tougher. I think your last 3 for 3. I would have gotten it wrong. I always get what's his nuts? Bortles. I always think Bortles was in this draft class, so I would have actually got this wrong.
And I couldn't remember if this group was like a year later or not. But look at that. I am
look
hot
at that.
Right now.
Look at that grouping. Look at that grouping. Lupagus did it again, just like we did it again. Rise and SKOL is in the books. Get your butts over to the store. Thank you again to Brewpub for sponsoring the show. As always, stick around. We'll be here all weekend.
We will be. And remember this, there are only 25 blimps in the entire world.